While in Cape Town for a couple of days, we got a guide to drive us around for an entire day starting from around 9 a.m. and we went out of town to explore the greater Cape Town area.
Today, because of the mist or even the clouds, but we'll see if we can then actually do that. So around the corner you're going to find a long beach. They actually call it Long Beach, and it's a 9-kilometer stretch of white beach that you're going to find around our coastline. Most people not swimming though. You have surfers. You have a lot of people spending time on the beach itself. We have two horse farms that you can then actually get yourself a horse from, and you can go and ride on the beach if you want to. Yes.
And this amazing country shop. It's like a farm shop. They've got so many cool produce here. And people are so sweet. I'm getting this special chili oil. And there's all this wine here. Wine. Cookies.
Not just this.
I got Arlo a treat. The Roost. Look how cool this place is. This shop has biking gear and coffee.
Smoked milk? Marijuana growing there. And once the government gave them the land, they then actually started selling that marijuana. Obviously. Yeah. Because now you have a lot of surfers over here. You have a lot of kite surfers.
Perfect.
There we go, and it's perfect. It's a perfect life. So yes, so they now have that piece of land they're selling, but in South Africa marijuana is obviously, it is now legal. As long as you then actually have it in small quantities and on your own premises. You're not allowed to deal in it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then obviously we now found out that there was a marijuana expo now the other day. So they have quite a lot of different products that you now also have in South Africa, even restaurants, which you can go to marijuana restaurants. Right. So if you want to, that is the female, the grey one, and the one with the black feathers, that is then obviously the male.
The male, right.
The reason why they then have the different colors is when they sit on the eggs during the day, because of the type of terrain that we have, the female will sit on the eggs. At night, because he is much darker and he's camouflaged that during the night, so that means he will sit on the eggs during the night, because then they can't see him. Whoever then actually wants to take the eggs.
That's
Got
cool.
the night shift.
One and World War II. Okay. And this is why you find these trees over here now. Right, then you find the oldest lookout station around our coastline, which is that small little building over there, right? That building is then actually, that's then actually bolted as a lookout station. There's some cannons right in front. The only problem with the cannons is the cannons can only fire 500 meters. It doesn't even reach the ocean. So yes, the Dutch weren't very, they were comedians though. So, but they were good. They were good. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
A lot of fur on them, pretty cold.
There we go.
Is it because it's cold?
Obviously. And especially
babies.
now for winter as well, yes, you'll see it will grow a little bit thicker. You do have the baboons in the Kruger National Park, but you'll see the legs is much longer.
These ones?
Than these ones.
Oh, then these.
And the reason for that is, in the Kruger National Park, there's lions.
Yeah.
So they run faster.
So they run faster. Here they don't have. So.
But it's the same type of baboon.
But it's the same baboon.
Okay.
It's the same baboon. It's just because of evolution, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously now you don't have to run so fast. You don't have to, so, and that is then obviously, and now it is mating season. Yes, so
They're not afraid.
It's mating season now. You'll see that little red part over there. You will see all of those that are then actually in heat and stuff. They will show that they are. And a very big part of the ritual is then actually grooming. Is they look for lice and stuff like that. So that's a part of the their family structure, you would say. The bigger one that you see over there, that will most probably be the alpha male.
Yeah.
And he's the strong one. He is the very strong one. But that doesn't mean the smaller ones are not though. Yeah, they still have big fangs, they can still hurt you and stuff like that, but it is the bigger one that is then actually the one that you have to worry about. Yeah. They actually go and eat mussels. Yes. This is the first type of behavior that I actually found in baboons or apes, that they actually have seafood. This is the wild fish, but it becomes very dry, then it's got a little bit of a juice inside it.
Right.
Then we can eat it, but they eat it green when it's got the flour on it. Yes. So, and people that stayed in this area when the Dutch then actually came here. Bartholomew Diaz in Vasco da Gama. I mustn't forget that thing.
There he is.
Yeah,
Big
that's
one.
the male, yes.
Yeah.
That is the male right over there.
It's very big.
He will have a collar, you'll see, because he then actually gets tracked. And the reason for that is they need to know where he is, because there is then actually residential areas right around at the bottom over there as well. And obviously they can smell food about 1 kilometer away.
Right.
So if you're going to have anything like edible in your bag or anything like that, they can smell it. There is then also a restaurant over here which is now closed, and a small little shop here at Cape Point, so they will be attracted by that food sometimes.
Hey.
We got here and it's just all white everywhere. Can't see anything. But it's fine because we're enjoying our drive and it's a very educational tour. So it's still really cool to do all this. We continued to drive to the Cape of Good Hope, which is the most southwestern point of the South African continent. It took us about 1.5 hours or 1 hour and 20 minutes to get there, and we were lucky to get there before an entire bus of tourists offloaded to take their photos by that famous sign, as you can see here. They're having a great time, but I was lucky to jump in before them. Here we are, it's rainy, there's a big group taking photos by the sign. Next we saw this amazing male ostrich just walking around. This is a wild ostrich, not the ones that we saw earlier on the farms, and he was just browsing around. We finally made it to Boulder Beach, where we can see the African penguin, and I was super excited to go meet them. Look where we are. Matt was pointing out that we've actually been to all the different continents already on that picture, except for Antarctica. You can just step out on the boardwalk and you already start seeing the penguins hidden in the bushes, and we were so excited we thought that was it. So we continued to watch them, the little guys that were sitting next to their caves and just getting wet in the rain, and we just watched and watched these little penguins on their nests for ages, until we discovered that you can just keep walking along the boardwalk until you reach the beach, and there was so many families and so many of these little penguins everywhere. Everybody had a different kind of nest, whether it was a little burrow, whether it was a bunch of twigs, and you could see that there were couples positioned. There was a seagull that was trying to get close to them, and all of the penguins continued to equally scream at the seagull to chase him away. We couldn't stop watching these penguins go about their daily lives. It was like we were immersed in their little world with its intricacies and rules, the different relationships that we observed, and all kinds of personalities. And if you watched one pair long enough, it was like you were a part of this little family going about their day. There were some penguins hanging out by the water, and now and again they would be floating on the waves. and it just continued, and despite the rain I didn't want to leave. It felt like the best nature show I've ever seen, and the best part was that I was right there within a few meters away from these creatures that seemed to just not even care that people were watching them from all over the place. And what's incredible is in the summer you can actually go and swim at this beach, and there's just penguins gonna be swimming next to you. So this season when we were there, this is May, this is the nesting seasons for the African penguin, and so you can see that a lot of the families have babies, or alternatively they have eggs, or some of them had both. They had some eggs and some babies to look after. So this is why I think it was quite fascinating to watch them. I could have stayed there for hours and hours just observing them and filming them, and it was just a magical moment. And I think it was the same for a lot of people that came to visit the penguins that day.